Yo guys, sorry you already know that today we are back playing some more Raging Loop. On the last time we made it through the night and had quite the run-in with Takumi. And it has been revealed that two people were taken last night, Haru Makishima and Hisako Mamiya, one of them being one of the wolves, which is a very interesting predicament for us to be put in. So I'm interested to see how this is going to affect us moving forward, but let's go ahead and move forward and see what happens. When Takumi-san told me that, I was more confused than shocked. Why? Why them of all people? However, I couldn't spend a lot of time thinking. I also don't know why Haru would have been a target for the wolves. Takumi-san predicted that Kanzo-san would go in a frenzy if he saw Haru-chan's corpse. That reminded me of the time he ran up to her when she was acting weird. Mochi had told me that he loved his granddaughter a lot, and that was undoubtedly true. Takumi-san had walked around Yasumizu before coming to me, but he couldn't find Kanzo-san anywhere. It would have been fine if they just missed each other, but Kanzo-san always woke up and walked around before anyone else, so he must have already seen Haru-chan's body. Considering the situation, I couldn't help but feel that something bad was happening with him right now. Oh no. He's got a rifle. Guy's more dangerous than me. Even Takumi-san, who almost killed me himself, deemed him a huge threat. At the plaza we met Chami. Her eyes were all red. Ichan, Haruaki-san. You saw the old man? Huh? No, I kind of thought that you'd be doing something to Haruaki-san by now. We'll talk about it later. Haru's room is open, right? Old man Kanzo must have already saw her. Let's stick together and search for him. Chami, where's Chikamochi and Yasu? They might still be asleep. Then wake them up and let's gather at the dorm. Fusaishi, grab a stick or something. Oh, okay. Haruki-san, are you okay? What? Well, I almost said I didn't touch him, but I didn't do anything to him. Let's just go already. His words and large frame made it feel like his usual strength and confidence had returned. Rikaku-san, Meiko, Kaori-san, Yoshitsugu-kun, everyone from the nearby homes were still with us. We told them what happened, but since we couldn't wait for the women to get dressed, we left this place in Yoshitsugu-kun's hands. Yoshi, if you see the old man, stop him at all costs. You protect the women and kids. You voted for Taibachan yesterday. Old man Kanzo might go for you without even giving you a chance to talk. But I kind of feel like it would work out for you. Sure you won't run? Don't worry, leave it to me. Wait, Takumi-san, would Kanzo-san really attack him just because he voted for Tai-san? I wonder that as well. Yesterday, Makishima-sama suggested that we hang both Yamawaki-sama and Mamiya-sama, and he himself was the one who put the noose over her. Yeah, unlike me, he probably wouldn't go apeshit over Taibachan. But the journal lady was a wolf. That's why it's possible that he'll suspect everyone who voted for Taibachan instead of her. What's with the confidence? You know something about the woman? I was tense. It was entirely possible that Takumi-san was about to reveal what I was. However, I got a different response than what I was expecting. You'll understand when you see her. Oh! All three of us went uphill. An unpleasant reek tickled our noses. We arrived at the concrete stairs near the dorm. Fusaishi, watch where you step in. I thought there was no deeper meaning behind those words, but then I saw the blood near my feet. A corpse. If I hadn't recognized it as such, I would have assumed it was a piece of modern art. Not because it was beautiful, but because it seemed so artificial. She was spread out. She was whittled down. All parts of her were torn, pulled, stretched in all directions. She actually covered the entire staircase. Muscle, fat, skin, tendons, hair, keratin, enamel, mucus parts, cartilage, eye lenses, clotted blood, excrement. All that had comprised this adult lady yesterday had been spread out over a large surface. It felt like I was looking at an anatomical drawing. It felt so artificial you could barely tell it was a dead human, but I didn't really know what to make of it. One thing was clear though, there was no special knowledge or intent behind this. It was pure, unadulterated violence that simply departed once it was complete. At the center of it all, you could find half of the bones needed to complete a human being. But a part of the face was still intact, which clearly revealed that the corpse belonged to Hisako Mamiya. She died. Outside her room. You'll understand when you see her. That was why he'd said that. Chami covered her mouth. I told her she could vomit if she wanted, but she said she had nothing left in her stomach. She must have seen this when leaving the dorm and passing through here. We ended up avoiding the stairs and went up the steep slope instead. The grass below was wet. Thinking that some of it was caused by her fluids, I became somewhat disturbed. Haru-chan would have fainted if she saw this. That thought reminded me that she too was no longer with us, casting an even deeper pall over the scene. We arrived at the dorm without anything else happening. Mochi was sitting on the stairs. It was the first time I'd ever seen him sad. Haru-chan's dead. I thought he was unique enough to treasure something regardless if it was dead or alive. However, Haru-chan seemed to be an exception for him. Last time I'd found out that he liked her, but I wasn't sure if it was that simple. Nor did I see the point of thinking about it. Where's Yasu? Upstairs. Yasu! After getting no response, we walked past Mochi, up to the second floor. The door closest to the stairs was open. Yasu, you here? He was. He was on his knees, spacing out, looking utterly powerless. Get a grip. We're all going to look for old man Kanzo. Yasu! Takumi-san rather violently shook him, and Yasu Nagakun made the first sound, a whimper. He didn't want to accept the despair before his eyes and kept his emotions from blowing up. I could see that in his face. It's my fault. The first thing he blamed was himself. It's the third day, and I still haven't found a single wolf. No! Takumi-san shook him again. This is all the wolf's fault. If not that, then it's my fault for not stopping the old man Kanzo. Your work has just begun. Get a grip. Yasu, Chimmy, take over. Oh, you know what? No, I mean, that's a little violent, but what if Kanzo did kill the reporter? Maybe he, like, you know, was able to realize that she was the wolf, and maybe he found Haru's corpse and just was the one to actually kill. And if he did that, then he might get taken by the corruption now. I'm very scared to see what sort of scene is going to take him. I'm reminded of when Uematsu was, like, locked in a room, and then the creepy, you know, teeth and hand reaching out. I feel like Hanzo, there could be, like, a jump scare ready for me at some point. Yasukun, she opened her arms. Yasunakun refused the embrace, lightly pushed her aside, and left. She glanced back at me for a moment, her expression felt hesitant to me. Or was I being too conceited? Actually, we still haven't figured out about the extra killing rule, because didn't multiple people die last loop? And you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Chikamochi and the old man who cried wolf both died, and I don't remember there being that much of an explanation, and I think the explanation might have been that the wolves did it, and they didn't face any consequences for that. So, am I wrong about that? Am I getting a detail wrong about that, or have I still not actually learned the information needed as to why they were killed? Let me know, because I'm actually really, really curious about that. We'll be downstairs. Yes, you can wait up. Chibi chased after him and tried to take his hand, and then I lost sight of them. I just have a tendency to sort of mix up information and forget, like, details, and I feel like in this game, you need all the details to really piece every part of the puzzle together. So, if I should know something, if there's something that has already been stated that I should know, feel free to tell me, but obviously don't spoil anything. Man, this is just horrible. I heard it from Chami, but still. Takumi-san looked back to the room. It's messed up. I felt the same way. This was nothing like the work of the wolves from last time. Kanzo-san had his face crushed, and Takumi-san had been shot in the head. Last time, Yasunagi-kun and Tai-san had both prioritized the head. It was a brutal yet efficient way of quickly taking their targets' lives. This, however, was the reverse. Haru-chan's empty, somewhat sad expression was preserved perfectly. Though stained by blood from her mouth, her deathly visage was even beautiful in a sense. The rest of the body, though, was a complete mess. She was lying on a futon, covered in aged, casual clothes. For some reason, it didn't seem like she bled much. It was clear that she was beat up with a blunt instrument. Everything besides her head had been thoroughly crushed by something heavy. She was like a pancake from the neck down. Her limbs were bent in unnatural ways that made it seem like she had no bones. It was an excessive way to kill someone, and her face was clearly left untouched on purpose. It was openly malicious, like the killer was toying with their victim. Profiling was my area of expertise, nor was I particularly good at it. However, I couldn't help drawing a certain conclusion. The wet, bloody footprints made it clear this was, like last time, the work of the wolves. However, these wolves were far crueler than the previous bunch. Interesting. Prioritizing the search for Kanzo-san, we left the cleanup for later and quickly returned to gather the others. Mochi and Yasunagi-kun joined us, and the five of us went to the Nasata mansion, next to meet up with Kinosuke, who was just passing through the gate. He was surprised that 2 people had died, but he was more bothered by the fact Kanzo-shi was nowhere to be found. It seemed to scare him. He has a gun, doesn't he? This seems dangerous. The old man I know would never use it on people. He's like a different person with the mist around, though, he added. Kanzo-san had already pointed his gun at people. Takumi-san didn't want to see Kanzo-san as an open threat, but it was clear he didn't trust him completely. His blind faith in the locals had vanished overnight. It probably wasn't virtuous in the general sense, but in the current situation, that naivete had been his only weakness. We then went to Tai-san's house, passing the supposedly empty construction site along the way. We still couldn't find Kanzo-san or anything out of the ordinary. After that, we went back to the plaza. In the dining hall, we found Yoshitsugu-kun and the woman, who were now dressed. They looked worried, but aside from that, everything was normal here too. We left Kinosuke and Yasunagi-kun there as some extra defense. Yasunagi-kun was still in a state of shock, and everyone wordlessly agreed that he should be with his family now. Then we went to the north, downhill, but we still couldn't find anything. Takumi-san then parted some bushes for some reason, and as it turned out, the old wolf guy lived around here. This made me realize that I hadn't seen his place yet. Yeah, we didn't know where he, like, stays. He has to shelter somewhere. Once we arrived there, my first impression was that it didn't even look like a house. It was more like a wooden shed or a storage room with frames that were barely stable and a door that didn't seem to fit properly. It honestly didn't seem like it would qualify as a shelter. It wasn't all that much better than that outhouse I had hidden in. Around it, there were lots of useless things, like small pieces of cloth and rusty farming tools. Apparently, he had a tendency to go around Yasumizu and collect or steal these sorts of things. He wasn't in the hut. The open door made us nervous, but there was no dead body inside. After some more searching, we found the old wolf guy laughing around the pine, and he joined us. We now knew the whereabouts of everyone except Kanzu-san, and the body count remained at 2. We then checked Kanzu-san's house again. It was still empty. I'm so scared. And so we returned to the dining hall. Despite the tension, Kaori-san began making food. Well, it's important to stay well fed, so no one grumbled. It was rice school again, but no one complained about that either, and just ate up. The students in Chiemi didn't seem to have an appetite, though. We then talked about what we'd do next. It was about 7 o'clock. The fact that none of us had seen Kanzu-san yet was unnerving. Takumi-san insisted we go searching again, but the others began to think that it was a waste of time. Some assumed that he either left the settlement, got stuck in some pond or field, or was taken by the corruption. Though those were all major problems that would require us to find him ASAP. Most just didn't want to continue this. It seemed to me that while Kanzu-san may have had a lot of influence here, and many depended on him, a lot of the villagers had a latent aversion to him. In the end, though, we couldn't just ignore the possibility that he might have been lurking somewhere with his gun in hand. Once again, for the first time this loop anyway, a search party was sent out. Yeah, I guess it was a search party for Haru last time. Takumi-san, Chiemi, Mochi, and I all went around the Misty settlement, but we couldn't find him. Just what's going on here? No clue. I feel like we're wasting time here. I had no evidence, but I felt the same way. Are we ever going to see him? Soon enough, we just went back to the plaza. Fusayaki-san! Mega-chan! It was a while since I had last spoken to her. We hadn't talked once yesterday, and it seemed like it'd be a while until she found out my name. What's wrong? Where's Rikaku-san? My-chan's talking about some difficult stuff, so I'm playing outside. What are the people in the dining hall doing? What if something happened to this girl? Mega-chan voted for Taiba as well, yeah? Ba? Anyway, what's up? I saw Oji-chan. What? Oh, no. Oh, man, what are you doing? He'd been right under our noses. I'm scared. Specifically, the hall where we held the feast. Oh, he's still here. He was exactly where he would be during the feast. Right next to him, there was an empty bottle of divine sake. Oh, he's just, like, ready to start the feast. Kazuji-chan, about Haru... Don't say it. He pushed away the bottle and stood up. He didn't seem the least bit drunk. In fact, his eyes were even sharper than usual. Haru's gone. All that's left is to bring an end to this feast. That's it. In other words, the daily morning patrols he was always doing were for Haru-chan's sake. So now that she was gone, this was the only place for him. So you're waiting? He replied with silence and sat down again, bringing his hunting rifle closer to him. I'll call everyone. It ain't time yet. If we let you wait here, everyone's going to be nervous. Don't care. Give me the gun. We'll put it back. Go back. Give me the gun. Instead of replying, Kanzu-san took his gun and aimed at Takumi-san! Oh my gosh. Go back to the dining hall and wait till noon. This scene seemed symbolic to me. Say that 5 times fast. Kanzu-san wanted to lead by force and demonstrated it with his killing instrument. At this point, no one could get in the way of him leading the feast. But then, something I didn't expect happened. Oh! It was right when Kanzu-san seemed to have finished talking. Yo! Takumi-san grabbed the front of the gun with his hand, pushed it aside, took a step forward, and punched Kanzu-san right in the face. I also didn't expect the old man to instantly retaliate. In less than a second, Kanzu-san let go of the gun and threw a punch into Takumi-san's face. No! Blood gushed out as Takumi-san's face was distorted in pain. However, that wasn't enough to take him out. Ah! A slap from the left hand, the base of the palm clearly hit Kanzu-san's face, and the old man was thrown backwards. He hit the wall behind him with a loud crunch, but even then, Kanzu-san stood up, clearly ready for more. It was an opening. I grabbed the hunting rifle. Huh? And gave it to Chiemi. Things were going so fast, I forgot that I wasn't supposed to know that she knew her way around guns yet. Take it apart and throw it away. But Takumi-san understood my intention. Right. Chiemi turned around. Kanzu-san tried to chase after her, but Takumi-san, Mochi, and I held him back. I know how you feel, but guns are unfair. So what? Can't trust no one. I gotta protect Yasumizu. What else can I do, huh? You can trust someone. Takumi-san glanced at me, but I couldn't agree with him in this situation. I could reveal myself to Kanzu-san, but not in front of Mochi. Even if someone had been eavesdropping on us when I told Takumi-san, it still wasn't time to reveal it. There's one thing that's clear. The wolves went for Haru-chan to get to you, Makishima-san. You understand that, don't you? Making the situation even harsher, like you are right now, is exactly what they want. Don't act like you know. I do. After all, everyone is starting to fear you. You're the ones who started it. If it weren't for the gun, I'd be apologizing for suspecting you by now. They then fell silent and glared at each other. Mochi, get everyone here. We should start the feast right now. You're right. Wouldn't want to leave the old man alone. Kansan grunted, displeased, but offered no more protest towards starting the feast. Honestly, there was no real reason why the time for when the feast started had been decided when it was. Kansan was only doing it on the same time as the first day. The fact that he insisted on the usual time so strongly that he brandished his gun over it made me feel like he was more obsessed with control over the situation than actually thinking things through. That sounds about right. At the base of it all, there was mistrust. He couldn't trust anyone, so he simply repeated whatever had brought him success so far. It'd be good if that led to our victory, but the feast really had to be approached like a game. There was no single way to win, and there was competition. If you could read the enemy strategy, you could also outplay them. That was significantly easier for the wolves. It was best to assume they understood exactly how Kanzo-san thought. That was why they targeted Haruchan. It was necessary to rethink our own strategy. It would all depend on how today's feast went. Especially for myself, since I was a snake and had to survive no matter what. I don't know. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm so excited for this, because, like, this clearly can't be, like, the successful time loop, because there are other paths that we have to take. But how far in do we make it, is what I wonder. Because right now, we're getting pretty close to figuring out all the wolves. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Everyone drank? Yes. Alright, we're starting the feast. Haru was killed by the wolves last night. Her body's still in a room. We won't let her death go to waste. We'll find the wolves and end this hell. It might even happen today. There was whispering. The people wondered if that was really possible. Okay, so it is, like, pretty much just accepted as fact that Haru was killed by the wolves and Mamiya was taken by the corruption, I guess. Takamine, I'd love to do that too, but what are you planning? Can't say that yet. Good move. I hadn't explained my intentions to him yet, but he had a vague idea of what I was planning. The keyword was fixed majority. If he understood that clearly, we would have a chance of winning. Think we'll believe you if you don't tell? After all that had happened today, I'd kind of worried Kazu's-san wouldn't say anything, but that wasn't what happened. He also wanted to give his all to end this feast with a victory. That was why he couldn't just stay quiet and let us all die, and continue pushing his strong approach to the feast, denying other ideas. Also, wait a minute, I kind of need to, if I can do, like, math, we know that Kanzo and Yasunaga are the monkeys. We've cleared Takumi, Hinosuke, and I thought there was somebody else. No, Haru has already died. Alright, so maybe that's it. So we know that Chikamochi is a wolf. Haruaki trusts Rikako and Mako in the same way that he trusted Shiemi in the first loop, which makes me think that neither of them are a wolf. Which leaves it down to either be Yoshitsugu or Kaori or the old man who cried wolf, I think. I think those are the only other options to be a wolf. I think we're actually getting really close to narrowing it down. Yoshitsugu still wanted to go out and confront the wolves, so I think it must not be him. So I literally think it's a 50-50 between Kaori and the old man. So we're getting close to figuring this out. Yeah, I can't say it. That might change, though. By the way, what were you planning to do today? Hang everyone who voted for Taiba. I knew it. I could hear whispers of perplexion and fear. His targets today would be the 4 who voted for Tai-san yesterday and didn't die last night. Basically, the old wolf guy, Yoshitsugu-kun, Rikaku-san, and Mako. Hold on, why? The journalist was a wolf. How do you know? Because her corpse was outside. Yasunaga-kun seemed to have recovered a little and was now doing what he had to again. Oh, I haven't really put that together. I guess everyone whose corpse was found outside, that's how you know that it was the corruption. Okay. In the feast, you're supposed to get 1 death per day and 1 per night. The fact that 2 died in 1 night means that something unusual happened. Haruchan was dead in her own room because she was visited by the wolves. Mamiya-san's body was outside her room, and judging by its state, she was probably taken by the corruption. Haruchan was in a bad state too. I know, but in her case was still something that could have been done by humans. Mamiya-san's was on a whole nother level. What about it? She just walked around at night, didn't she? Yeah, exactly. Then why would she be a wolf? Wasn't it the old hag? That's because... Wait, yeah, so let me say it. Okay. That woman was acting weird all day. The old man said he'd hang her, so I can't say I don't get her. What would happen if her death was all but certain? An outsider would try to escape Yasumizu, right? She thinks she could run away. Oh, so maybe she was just trying to run away? Yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, wait, she was a wolf, so I don't know if she has to worry about, like, you know, cleansing up, sheltering up, and all that, because she's a wolf that can go out at night. But, I mean, maybe if she didn't, like, clean or something like that, maybe there was one of the things that she didn't do. Or maybe she was trying to escape, yeah. But the lady didn't do it. Yeah, she hadn't even tried to run. What of it? If you're running away, it's better to do it during the day. Even with the mist, you can see stuff better in the light. You can't see anything at night. There's really no reason not to run away during the day. The mist would hide her and let her escape without us realizing it. She'd run away yesterday after we all split up in the evening. She could have gotten to the very edge of Yasumizu. That's not where she succumbed to the corruption. Maybe she had some other reason for going out at night. How about that? Anyone else but me here try to stay awake at night? That question came out of left field, but Yasunaga-kun, Shami, Yoshitsugu-kun, and I raised our hands. Didn't you say you stopped? We ain't talking about going outside, are we? I took a stick to my futon in case someone came for me. You went against the law of dreaming? Yeah, just 2 nights ago, like Yoshi, I grabbed a weapon and waited for something to come, but I still ended up falling asleep. Can you believe that? This whole thing's such a crisis. You shouldn't be able to fall asleep at all. Yet before you know it, you wake up in the morning. It's not that you're not allowed to stay up late, you just can't. It's one of the things that freaks me out about the feast. Yeah, alright, that was a conclusion that I had come to a while ago. You should know if you try to stay up. Only the wolves can move around at night. That's because she was an outsider. Outsider or not, the feast is above all of us. If being an outsider was an excuse, the journalists wouldn't have fallen victim to the corruption. I had the mysterious experience of being spared by hiding in a toilet, but I had no choice but to stay quiet this time. Hashimoto-san, the large cameraman died by going out at night, didn't he? I don't know much about that, but if I gotta guess, he died because he wasn't sheltered properly. Cleanse, shelter, as long as you have those two covered, you'll definitely fall asleep. But if you stayed outside right from the start, it's just an assumption though. Yeah, it is. You can ignore it if you want. But if the woman was a human, she'd have no reason to risk going outside. She's a wolf who was walking around at night, messed up somehow, and got punished for it. That's the only possible explanation. Yasunaga-kun and Yoshitsugu-kun both fell silent. They couldn't argue against that anymore. I don't think we're ever going to know what exactly she did, though. Sure, it was strange how we just somehow fell asleep, but there were cases of people going out at night, both this and the previous time. I'd have to think about it some more later. Yeah, maybe she had a run-in with one of the other wolves? No, because then one of the other wolves will probably get taken by corruption for breaking the rules. I don't know what she did. Did you know that too, Makishima-san? Only 2 kinds of people go out at night. Wolves and humans who die like dogs trying to kill the wolves. With how important the dreaming law was to the locals, it was natural for them to assume that anyone who went out at night was a wolf. When you looked at it like that, Yoshitsugu-kun, who insisted on going out, was extremely reckless. That's why Hisako Mamiya was a wolf. Sabachan, who she set up as a wolf, was clearly a human. Ain't it possible that both of them were wolves? I felt for him. It was his vote that killed Tai-san. Even if he was prepared for it, it was hard to justify. That's not impossible, but extremely unlikely. No, it isn't. Yamawaki-san, who we hanged yesterday, was a human. Oh, are you the crow? I was thinking that the crow has not come into play at all. We have yet to actually have somebody speak up to confirm somebody as human or wolf. Mostly because there hasn't been that many people that have been successfully hanged, where we then survive the next day. This might actually be the first instance that that's happened. Sorry for keeping it a secret so far, but I'm the crow. What? What, seriously? I shall take responsibility for my son's rudeness and his vote that killed Yamawaki-san. I'm ready to take all the blame you give him, especially from Takumi-san, who loved Yamawaki-san like a mother. So please, don't punish him. Her voice was sincere and sorrowful. She put her hands in front of her and placed her forehead on the floor. Stop, stop. Hey, I'm the one who voted. You had nothing to do with that. Oh, that's probably how I looked yesterday. Takumi-ni. Don't worry, I know. Kari-san, Yoshi, we ain't talking about who's to blame for Pachan's hanging. But, no buts. No one said it was a mistake back then, so we're all ready to blame, so we're all to blame here. The votes that killed her are more like something to help us decide what to do, not some sins that get the noose around your neck. Is that right, Yasunaga? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Are you sure, though? I won't forgive the wolves or whoever got them to kill. I'm with the old man on that. Kanzo-san slightly opened his eyes, looked surprised he'd come up, but then looked away with a humph. Something's bothering me. Can I say it, Takumi-ni? Yeah, of course. Do we have anyone else claiming to be the crow? Yasunaga. I know, I want to believe, but this is what's expected of me here. Do we have any other crows besides Kaori Oribe? Aniki, you damn... Yoshitsugu's silence. Learn from his example. Yasukun. I felt like the power balance here in Yasumizu was shifting. Kanzo-san was losing his influence, and Takumi-san's authority bridged the generations. That amplified Yasunaga-kun's voice, putting him back in the front. However, this was a temporary thing that could only last when Kanzo-san's high-handedness was failing. It could be turned around if someone messed up, or was hanged today and drove someone else over the edge. I'll say this just in case, but if you're real, and you're keeping your silence, you're being nothing but a burden for us. If you know Kaori Oribe is fake and stay silent despite that, you won't be recognized as real if you decide to claim so later, understand? Those words felt like they were directed at me too, scary. Looks like we have no one. Wait, we had no one come out against Mamiya's claims that she was a snake, and she turned out to be a wolf, didn't she? And now we have a whole 3 less people than yesterday. Isn't it a bit too early to decide she is real just because no one is revealing themselves now? Yes, you're right, but the possibility that Taiba or Mamiya's son were the crow is extremely low. Exactly. Tai-san would have revealed that before she was hanged, while Mamiya-san wouldn't have had a reason to pretend to be the snake to begin with. There's nothing that says Haru-chan wasn't the crow, but I know that she was absolutely terrible at lying and keeping secrets. She didn't act like she was hiding a guardian, and we were together most of the time. I'm confident I would have noticed any signs that implied she was the crow. The possibility that Kaori Oribe is a wolf who realized that Haru-chan was the crow before I did, then killed her to take her spot, is pretty much zero. There's also the possibility that Haru-chan hit her role until the end, and the wolves just happened to hit the crow by killing her, but that's unlikely too. None of those who died were the crow. Can you agree to that? Your proof that Haru Makishima wasn't the crow is thin and circumstantial. You were the only one close to her, were you? What if a wolf that was also close to her realized she had a guardian and told Kaori Oribe? You can't deny that possibility, can you? Yasunagi-kun kept his eyes straight. To me, it seemed like it was a way of preventing those doubts from taking root. Wait, did you just suspect me? No way, Mochi would never kill Haru-chan. If only they knew. I wouldn't be so certain, Chiane. But I don't believe he did it either. Oh yeah? What's your proof? What a strange silence. It didn't look like he had nothing to say, or that it was hard for him to say it. Come on, you said it yourself. Uncle, I'm an eccentric. I can't understand how others feel. I was with Haru-chan and Yasun, because they don't mind no matter what I do. All they know is that they're good guys. I don't even care about anything else. You should say it too, Yasun. Tell them what I'm like. I wouldn't say so. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that Haru-chan was the crow and got killed because of it. I think the crow is still alive and is her. Yes, I'm the crow. I think I agree, which also now just narrows down my suspects to Chiemi and the old wolf guy, I think. I think that's basically what I'm down to. I think it has to be one of those two. It could end up being Uematsu or Meiko, but for the game's narrative, I just don't think so. I see. Very well. Even I understand I am pushing it with the theories, so I should keep to myself a bit. However, since we can say the same thing about the snake as well, that means the real one is still alive, right? He was right. That was the right way to look at it, and it was true. Let's push aside the reason why he or she didn't say anything when the fake came out. Is there a guarantee that the same thing isn't happening again? What if another fake's shown up and the real one's keeping their silence, just like yesterday? You're just pushing it again. There's no way she's lying. The journo was a wolf, then the old hag was human, damn it. Even if fake has no reason to lie, if the goal is to make people trust you, it's best to speak the truth. Even if another crow shows up today, they can only tell the truth we already know, that Tai Yamawaki was human. And we would have no way to tell whether Lady Oribe or the other one was the real crow. His assertion was a bit cynical but accurate. If he was the modest and cautious one, he would be way more valuable to the humans. Also, I'm just going to straight up say it, the crow is not nearly as valuable as the snake or the monkey. The crow really just isn't that valuable. Like, it is to an extent, but in this situation, especially with us being the snake and having so much information, the crow just doesn't really help me. But I just think in general, it's not even that valuable. It's, like, not worthless, but out of all the guardians, like, claiming that, it just makes, it's just kind of dumb. I don't know. I guess it would be smarter to claim it towards the end, if you're a wolf, and be like, oh yeah, I'm the crow, yada yada, but, like, I don't know. At this point, it just doesn't make that much sense. But also, like, I don't even think she's endangering herself that much. Like, I guess she's confirming herself as human, but I don't know. It's just, like, not that big of a deal to me, I think. I must object to that. After all, Mami-san was a wolf who wanted to use the guardian to survive. However, Kaori Oribe revealed her guardian while begging to take all the blame for Yoshitsugu Oribe. It's neither wise nor right, but I believe it's the real her talking, not the cunning of a wolf. The foolishness proves it, you say? That is my reason for believing Kaori Oribe. Higuchi's wife's gonna protect Yoshi, even if he's a wolf. My heart skipped a beat. Kanzo-san's voice was like a rumble, and just like before, it was dense with gloominess and anger. He had a point too. If it were for her son, Kaori's-san was capable of breaking the feast's mental shackles. You old fart. He's not that type of guy. He spoke forcefully. If he was a wolf, he'd declare it and go around killing us directly. That's just how he is. He's like our parents, straightforward, stubborn, and won't accept anything that doesn't sit right. Sit right with them. Not even God. If he had to die to prove Kaori Oribe innocent, he'd surely do it. That's not something that I, the only sly coward in the family, can do. Yoshitsugu is a human. Hey! Shizuku-kun rose to his feet and howled at his brother. Don't act like you know shit. If you spend more time with Mom, I do know. My cunning comes from my Higuchi blood. Mom has no reason to love me. She loves you way more. That's why I'm working hard and studying so I can pay her back with money and other things. You should be more grateful that she loves you just because you were born honest, Yoshitsugu. Why you bring yourself down so much? Aniki, listen up, you. Quiet, you two. The mother's voice quickly silenced her son's. Why are you fighting over such nonsense at a time like this? Kanzo Makishima-san. The old man grunted in response to the mention of his name. I heard that when my late husband, Sadayoshi Higuchi, died, there was a mist in Yasumizu. Did he die in a feast? Ooh. Did you kill him? He got killed by the wolves on the first day. We have confirmation that Kanzo was in a feast. We had already kind of guessed it, but now there is a official confirmation that Kanzo was in a feast. And So that was her husband? Wow. Okay. Old man? I've been in 2 feasts. Only this old fart and I survived. Him and the old man who cried wolf. He's been in 2 feasts. Whoa. Passed? What about it? Nothing. Even if you were the one who killed him, it was because of the feast. Wow, so you survive a feast by killing... I guess they would have had to kill all the wolves, or I guess they could have both been wolves. I don't exactly know how the settlement continues if the wolves win. But you were human and eliminated the wolves in 2 separate times? That's crazy. That's good. Okay. But know this, Yasunaga Yoshitsugu, that explains his, like, confidence in the feast and it working and all that. He's seen a lot of this before. Okay. I don't want to lose my family to the feast ever again. So please, work together. You're brothers, aren't you? I didn't say I have anything against that. Me neither. Hey, sorry to bother you, but this really ain't the time for a family feud. The fact that the old man's been in a feast doesn't matter much, right now anyway. Kazu-san clicked his tongue. I believe the Orbes. Yasu's a monkey, while Yoshi and Kaori-san aren't the type to lie. That makes it all but clear that Tai-Bachan and Haru were humans, while the General Lady was a wolf. We have 2 more wolves and 10 humans here. Out of them, the old man and Yasu are confirmed to be monkeys, and it's likely that Kaori-san is a crow. I trust Yoshi too, but it's not like we have any proof he's human, so I won't add him here. Fine by me? Now, how do we proceed? If the still living real snake has the right info, this feast might be as good as over. There it was. What do you mean? If the snake reveals himself and states that 2 more of us are human, there would be 6 confirmed humans, meaning we would have half of the votes. With those 6 being confirmed, it would unlikely that the rest would vote for the same person, meaning that victory would be as good as ours. Fixed majority. The problem with this is he is 100% right. However, we kill Chikamochi, right? We come out as a snake, we say that it's Chikamochi, whatever, we die. There's no other way. Like, we die at night. I don't know if there's a spider that can protect us or not, but I don't know if that's going to work. I feel like that's straightforward, like what we should do, but because of how this game works and the fact that we have to worry about our own survival, we might not have the choice to actually do that. Let's go just a little bit further. Exactly, we would hang one of the 6 unknown, while the wolves would kill one of the 6 confirmed humans. The primary target would be the snake, but it's likely that the spider is still alive. If he or she protects the snake tonight, we would have 1 less confirmed human and 1 less unknown, and gain another confirmed human or wolf tomorrow. It would either become 6 humans and 4 unknown, or 5 humans, 4 unknown, and 1 wolf. The confirmed humans would become a majority regardless. This number couldn't be turned around, so we would most certainly win. The snake's gotta find 2 humans? Even if he does find a wolf, we'll only have 5 confirmed humans. In that case, even if we hang the wolf, we'd still be left with 4 confirmed humans and 6 unknown. The human's victory wouldn't be ensured. Of course, hanging the wolf would give us a great advantage, and if the snake comes out, the wolves wouldn't keep quiet either. Personally, I won't promise that I will certainly kill whoever reveals themselves. The snake's reveal could help bring certain things into the open. That was the opposite of Kanzo-san's approach. The old man clicked his tongue, and some squirmed uncomfortably. But if the snake only looked into those who died, like Haru-chan, Yamawaki-san, and Mami-san, he or she should stay quiet. But if that isn't the case, I would like the snake to reveal him or herself. Oh boy, I had to think. Wow, this is what I wanted. This is the perfect cliffhanger cutoff point. Whoo, baby. That sucks because this is my last recording for the day, and I'm waiting till tomorrow to record more, which means I'm going to have a whole day to think about what's about to happen. They have to give me a choice. There has to be another choice as to whether to reveal myself or not. I don't know what the right option is. I feel like the humans win if we reveal ourselves. Does Haruaki win? Do we survive? I don't know about that. Logically, I feel like we should, because I feel like we have presumed that either that Mako, I think, is the spider, and so if she protects us, we should be basically invincible. But I don't think it's going to be that simple. There's always a wrench that this game can throw into things. So, alright, I'm excited to make this decision. I hope you are enjoying and looking forward to that as well. If so, let me know, but I'm going to see you on the next time. So, till then, peace out.